Welcome to the program. I'm Linda Gutu. Thank you for making time for us. Now, the Ministry of Health in Kenya has begun screening travelers for Ebola at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, Busia and Malaba checkpoints following its outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo. At least 17 people have died in the northwest of the Democratic Republic of Congo, where health officials have confirmed the outbreak. A government statement says the Ministry of Health has taken all necessary measures to respond promptly and effectively to this new epidemic of Ebola in the DRC's national territory. In the past 5 weeks, there have been 21 suspected cases of Ebola, and the government there saying it's doing everything it can to control that particular outbreak. Details of that as we go on with this bulletin. Elsewhere, bodies of 6 miners who were last evening buried alive at Makalda mines in Nyatike have been retrieved from the rubble. The miners were inside the mines when the tunnel caved in following heavy rains that have been pounding the region.
The ongoing heavy rains have been wreaking havoc in various parts of the country. The latest victims being gold miners at the Makalda mines in Nyatike sub-county. Located 40 kilometers away from Migori town, the mine's walls were reported to have weakened following the heavy rains in the area and caved in, trapping 10 men who were inside the tunnels. Out of the 10, 4 miners were rescued Tuesday evening, and on Wednesday, 6 bodies retrieved.
Poromoko iliwakuta kama hawajatoka chini. Iliporomoka mpaka ikawazika hapo chini mpaka wakati huu.
Lala hapa kama tunachimba ili tupate vijana hajapatikana hata moja.
The incident exposed cracks in the county's disaster management unit as excavators which were to help in rescue operations were not there. This forced residents to look for alternative methods to try rescue survivors.
Waine imefinikwa ndani ya simu. Tulianza kuchimba wakati hiyo mtenda ilifanyika jana. Tungeanza chimba na jembe na tarimbo, tukachimba hapo, lakini hawezekani. Tinga ya kanti alitumwa hayasaidia sisi. Hata mafuta iliisha. Sasa watu iko wanaosa ndani ya simu.
The miners usually descend more than 100 feet below the surface to look for gold. Locals say the mines have continued to claim lives every year. Some say the fumes used to light up the tunnels suffocate miners. But these risks do not deter residents from looking for the precious gold.
Si watu wanakufa kwa mabarabara. Hata ndege pia inaua watu, hata baharini inaua watu. Sasa kama inakufungwa mahali inaua watu, hata barabara wafunge, magari wasikimbie kwa barabara.
Ashley Mazuri, KTN News.
Right, the task force has now been formed to look into the mystery of Ndakaini Dam water levels. Despite the current heavy rains pounding the area surrounding it, Water PS Joseph Irugu says the task force will have 60 days to give its report. But even as the task force was being set to probe the issue, Cabinet Administrative Secretary in the Ministry of Water, Winnie Gushu, appears to be blaming what she called erratic rains in the past 4 years for the low water levels. Shadrach Miti reports. All right, we'll have that story for you in a couple of minutes. Elsewhere, East African Legislative Assembly member Simon Mbugua was early today charged in a Nairobi court with robbery with violence. Mbugua was charged together with 2 other suspects in connection with the attack on former ncbda chairperson Timothy Muriuki last week. The legislator and his co-accused were released on a bond of 500,000 shillings or a cash bail of 200,000. Mark Namaso reports.
The audacity of about 6 goons attacking former Nairobi Central Business District Association Chair Timothy Muriuki on live TV on April 30th at Hotel Boulevard shocked many. And on Wednesday morning, 3 suspects, among them Iyala MP Simon Mbugua, Anthony Otieno and Benjamin Odhiambo, faced robbery with violence charges before Senior Principal Magistrate Martha Mutuku at the Milimani Law Courts.
The offence, it is true that the accused persons are faced with is serious in nature, but the accused persons are also presumed under the Constitution to be innocent until otherwise proven guilty.
Mbugua's legal team had earlier in the day argued for lenient bail terms, insisting their client was not a flight risk. The three were set free on a bond of 500,000 shillings or a cash bail of 200,000 shillings. In a separate court, Stephen Sangira, also arrested in connection with the attack on Muriuki, was released on a cash bail of 100,000 shillings. The prosecution had requested that he be kept in custody for a week, pending investigations, but the court declined, stating there were no specific charges facing him. The court was informed that Muriuki, the complainant, was robbed of 100,000 shillings during the incident by people who were allegedly defending Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko's interests. Other suspects, Brian Owino, Michael Mbanya and Suleiman Hussein, remain at large. The next date for the hearing of the case is slated for July 17th. Mark Namaswa, KTN News.
Parents now have every reason to smile after the government launched a school feeding program that will see nearly 1.6 million children from arid and semi-arid lands benefit. As Cecilia Wakesha now reports, a majority of children from poor backgrounds drop out of school due to lack of food.
It's lunchtime at Momunga Primary School in Voi area, Taita Taveta County. Every parent is required to pay a fee of 300 shillings a month to cater for their children's feeding program, although not all parents can afford that amount.
Mimi ni mzazi ambaye niko na watoto watatu. Sasa hapo hivyo kwa upande wangu wa kazi mimi ni jua kali. Leo kama hivi nipate kibarua cha kufua wale, kesho hivyo hivyo.
So tunaambiwa tulipe chakula, wakati wenzangu wanaenda kushika chakula, mimi nakaa darasani. Na nyumbani mama ndo tuko na mama peke yake. Mama utafuta vibarua vyovyote akipata tunapika.
This will now be a thing of the past beginning July this year, after the national government officially launched a meals and nutrition strategy that will see nearly 1.6 million school-going children from arid and semi-arid areas benefit.
That the Ministry of Education has already transferred, and I think this is very important, 16 billion Kenya shillings as capitation for primary and secondary schools. And as you know, part of that money goes into the feeding program.
At a 2-day conference that began on Tuesday, bringing together ministries of health, agriculture and education as well as stakeholders, the Mwangi Kiunjuri ministry has promised to boost the program by subsidizing the cost of drip irrigation kits and boreholes at 50%. This, he said, will support homegrown school meals.
You can advise your principals, primary school heads, that the faster they prepare themselves, the earlier we are coming.
No food, there's a lot of absence in the school. Most of the children do not turn up.
A report by counties and UNICEF estimates that 70,000 of children under the ages of 5 years in Kenya are malnourished, with Turkana, Mandera, Pokot and Samburu areas being the most affected. And although the feeding program in ASL areas has been handled by Wild Food Program since 1980, this changed in 2009 after the government adopted a formula of homegrown school meals. However, in many schools, parents have had to bear the burden. Cecilia Wakesha, Ktn News.
The family of Henry Matano in Kambe area of Kilifi County is mourning the loss of their loved one who was among the 7 KDF soldiers killed in Dobli along the Kenyan-Somali border. Our Coast Region reporter Francis Mtalaki visited the family and tells us their story.
The news of the death of 51-year-old Henry Matano cast a dark shadow over this homestead in Mereni village in Kilifi County. Matano's family is still coming to terms with the sudden death of their loved one.
Kapatikani mimi mwenye nilikuwa siko hapa. Niliporudi niliona tu boma yangu imeja kuuliza. Mama yangu ndo alikuwa ameshaniacha.
The last time Matano spoke to his family members was on Saturday morning when he informed them that the vehicle they were traveling in to Kenya had stuck in mud in Dobli, Somalia for more than 12 hours.
We are heading to mpakani, lakini the place hapa gari ilipokwamia ni pale moja pabaya sana. Lakini tunaomba Mungu na nyinyi pia tuombeeni.
Hata wakati tulipopata hiyo habari, the girl aliniuliza maswali mengi sana ambayo nilishindwa kumweleza. Like daddy wanted me to grow to be a doctor. Like I performed and he was bringing a present to me. Now who will give me the present? He's been sick. I bought him a present. Whom am I going to give this present to?
Having joined the Kenya Defence Forces in 1989, the late Matano was on his way back home after completing his second peacekeeping mission in Somalia. He had also been in South Sudan and Sierra Leone on similar missions.
Sasa kuna wale wenzangu wadogo bado wako nyuma, hawajamaliza kusoma.
Ni mtu wa upendo, na hata kwa wale ambao walikuwa kama maadui zake, yeye hakutaka kuonyesha ubaya.
Alikuwa ameniahidi akitoka huko atatengeneza nyumba vizuri. Tulikuwa tumepanga mambo mengi, kumbe ilikuwa ni ahadi tu.
The deceased has left behind 5 children, some of whom are very young. Kenya continued to lose more troops while on duty in Somalia, and now it is up to the government to put more measures in making sure that our troops are safe while on duty. Francis Mtalaki, Ktn News, Maereni, Kilifi County.
Thank you for staying with Ktn Prime. Let's take a short break. We'll be back.